What is up? It is me again, Zach Flores, the Zaccaroni. Yes, sir! And we are on another episode of our podcast entitled Yes to Process with Zach Flores. Hello po sa inyong lahat, and I'm glad that everyone is here at sa lahat ng mga sumusubaybay po sa ating podcast, sa ating episode 2. But I am just so glad, so grateful that you guys are here. I'm also glad na natapos mo ang week na to, di ba? Na staying strong, and I believe na you deserve a clap, di ba? Palakpakan mo naman ang sarili mo for ending this week, di ba? Strong. Going back to our topic for today, just want to talk about thriving on failure. So it's all about failure. So ang galing, di ba? After ko kayong palakpakan sa mga achievements nyo today, it's all about failure. Let's talk about it. So how do we actually thrive in failure? So when we say thrive, the meaning of thrive is to prosper and to develop well. We can continue to develop well even in the state of our failures. So what does that mean? Eh, di ba, basically, when we say failures, when we are failing, kuwari, yung di ka ma-promote sa trabaho, simpleng ganun lang siguro, yung di ka matanggap sa mga interviews. Para kasing masakit na yun, di ba, as a person, parang it's very heartbreaking. Ako mismo, na-experience ko na series of interviews, tapos di ka matanggap, failures after failures. Siguro, yung mga nag-aaral dyan, bumagsak kayo sa exam. During those times, siguro, bumagsak ka, pero yung mga friends mo, bumagsak din. So, okay lang. But kidding aside, what I'm trying to say is, failure sucks. At parang nakakawalang gana, di ba? Na to continue to move forward, to continue to move on. Di ba? Parang, what's the point of even trying? So I remember the greats of this era, or actually the past era. For example, siguro si Michael Jordan, if you know Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan missed 9,000 shots. Imagine that. He lost 300 games. Imagine Michael Jordan, di ba? Isa siya sa pinaka best player, one of the GOATs. Though debatable between LeBron or Jordan, pero that's not our topic for today. What I'm trying to say is he's one of the greats. He missed 9,000 shots. He almost lost 300 games. Sino pa ang greats na kilala ko? Si Albert Einstein. Imagine Albert Einstein had the label that he is mentally slow. Nakalagay yun sa permanent record niya. That kind of label na nilagay sa kanya. Si Bill Gates din, di ba? One of the billionaires of this era. Siya naman, he was a Harvard dropout. So what am I trying to say? Even the greats experience failures. So the struggles in life are real, and even the greats of our time has experienced it. Lahat tayo kasi ma-experience ang failure at some point in our life. And maybe siguro, now, ngayong oras na to, you are at the peak of losing everything. Buti na lang nandito ka. Dahil this will be uplifting words for you. So siguro, ikaw naman, isa ka rin sa mga point ka na nasa sobrang bugbog ka na ng problema, na parang binubugbog ka na ni Pacquiao ng problema, di ba? And you try to fight, and life keeps knocking you down. Ganun na yung klase ng failures na na-experience mo right now. And the truth is, life is full of ups and downs. Sabi nga nila sa buhay, di ba, ay kapag may ginawa ka, either you win or lose. Pero I believe na tayo na gustong bumangon over that at gusto mag-thrive in spite of all of those failures, ay hindi tayo naniniwala sa win or lose mentality. But our minds are set on what? Are set on win or learn mentality. When we fail, we are learning. When we lose, we are not losing. We are learning. And because failure is what makes life so interesting, and it makes it more exciting. Pero syempre at the same time, it makes it more terrifying, di ba? Parang nakakatakot because it's inevitable to fail. It happens to everyone. Here's a simple reminder for you. Your failure today is not the end of the world. So let me tell my simple story, my friends, that when I failed the board exam, siguro may mga classmates ako dito na nanonood. People know my story regarding the board exam that I failed in my first take. It was devastating indeed. Yung tipong you saw your friends pass the boards and you failed yours. Sobrang heartbreaking for me. I was in the verge of really failure talaga. Feeling ko sobrang failure ako. Dahil yun ang pinaka-first time nag-fail ako sa buong buhay ko. Imagine preparing for it for about 5 years in college and even half a year in reviewing sa boards. Imagine that, diba? And You want to make your parents proud. But eventually, I still failed. Yung after kong mag-fail, naisip ko agad na, sabi ko sa parents ko, Ma, Dad, magkatrabaho na lang po ako. Dahil para kasi hindi ko mara-replicate yung efforts na ginawa ko noon. And to take another exam. At syempre, naiya akong bumagsak ulit. Because the pressure is real. And I was so negative back then to the point na ayoko na talaga mag-take ulit. But my parents talked to me about it. About taking again, sila na daw bahala. And syempre, nahihiya ako dahil expense na naman yun sa kanila. But they insisted na mag-take ako ulit. To cut the long story short, I took my second take and passed the boards. So, let me tell you what I did from the failure I experienced on how I thrive on my failure. So, ito yung pag-uusapan natin. That's why the title for today is Thriving on Failure. So, the first thing is what I did. Number one is recognize what you are feeling. Kasi when you are hurt, most of us try to fix it quickly. Kumbaga, we try to fix it quickly by doing the things that we love. Nothing wrong about that. Wala namang mali sa ginagawa kung gagawin mo. But sometimes, we try to put band-aid solutions just so we can't feel the pain of failure. Pero, it's better talaga that we recognize what we are feeling first. That what we are feeling at the moment. Kasi at first look, during those times that I failed, I was in denial of the results. And I felt like somehow, nakalimutan nila na ilagay yung pangalan ko dun sa list. Kasi, nakita sa website yun eh. Sino yung pumasa. So, ako, I kept on checking on that. Dun sa mga list of results, wala pa rin. So, medyo nalulungkot ako, but I was in denial during those times. Then, I came into a conclusion na I need to feel what I'm feeling. So, that's what I did. When I'm sad, that's what nangyari. So, whenever I felt like crying, I cried. Kailangan mo kasing i-feel yung pain eh. I-recognize mo yung what you are feeling. And because in recognizing what I felt, and just dealt over on where I am on that very moment. Same with your experience siguro. That let's be real. Because failing or failure is disappointing. Recognize your feelings in your failure. And as you do that, shift your narrative from being a failure to positive things. Kumbaga, kahit feel mo yung pain, you're also, kumbaga, binibuild up mo rin ang sarili mo on the positive things that you can do. And shift ka sa pag-feed sa sarili mo ng mga bagay na makakapag-uplift sa'yo. Talk to yourself na this is just a learning experience, di ba? At sabihin mo na this is just a part of our journey that would make my victory more sweeter. O, di ba? Ganun dapat. After feeling the pain, you uplift yourself with the positive things. Kasi kung naman i-feed mo ang sarili mo with negative things pa, mas magiging down ka. Di ba? So, yun ang unang ginawa ko is number one is recognize what you are feeling. So, number two is plan again your next move. So, when we say plan again, is magplano ka. Tinagalog ko lang. Because it may be hard to take a move again. Diba? Kasi nga, nag-fail ka and everything. Nag-fail ka, so mahirap gumalaw. But planning it will prepare you for what's ahead. Because your current emotion after failing may be unstable. Pero by planning, kapag okay ka na ulit, siguro may mga times na okay ka lang eh. Kasi ako na-experience ko na may times na okay lang ako. And you can just execute the things that needs to be done for your comeback. Kumbaga, pag okay ka, those are the time na kailangan magplano na. Because your failure doesn't define the whole you. And remember that failure is not the opposite of success, but it's part of the process to success. Again, let me quote that again. Failure is not the opposite of success, but it's part of the process to success. So what do we need to do? Take responsibility and plan again. Plan again your next move and know that the minor setback that you are in is actually your preparation towards your greatest comeback. Imagine that. Ang isang step back mo is actually a preparation for more. That's what you need to understand. Diba? And huwag mo hahayaan na nakatunga ka lang sa harap ng pader or nag-Facebook ka lang at nagmumukmuk. Instead, plan. Plan again your next move. Avoid and learn from the mistakes you've done before. Isama mo yung mistakes na yon at ayusin mo siya in a way na mas beneficial sa gagawin mong action. So that is one of the pinaka magandang gawin. The second step is to really plan again. Recap Number 1 is to recognize what you are feeling. So number 2 is plan again your next move. And number 3 is what? Get up and fight. So ito para siyang motivational na, tayo ka. Kumbaga, pag nag-motivate ng mga motivational speaker, kapag natumba ka, tumayo ka. Getting aside, sabi nga as ni Vince Lombardi said, sabi niya dito, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get up. Kung madapa ka ng 7 times, tumayo ka ng 8 times. Diba? That's how it is. Get up and fight. Because it's time to get up and fight. Kasi wala nang magagawa kung magmumukmuk ka lang. Kasi you've dealt with your feelings already. And then after that, you planned. So now is the right time to get up and fight. So know that everything in life is not permanent. And even our pains and failures are part of it. But as we get up, there is really something greater waiting ahead of us. Do you believe that? And moping around will not get us there. Even yung pag-scroll mo lang sa Facebook, di ba? Or ngayon. It will not help us to be the person that the Lord wants us to be. Kung yun lang gagawin mo, hindi naman sinabi ng Lord na kapag nag-fail ka, di ba? Is, sige, magmukmuk ka na lang forever. Hindi. The Lord wants us to get back up. So, during my time, story time again. During my time, as I reviewed again, it was really hard for me to pick up from where I started. Kasi, syempre, after mag-review ng for how many months, and then babagsak ka. So, you need to recall again. Kasi nga, nung mga time na yun, nung kasi bumagsak ako, parang tinry ko na kalimutan ko na lahat. Yun, kaya medyo mahirap mag-get up ulit. But then again, I still chose to get up and fight for my dreams. I chose to get up and fight kasi I remembered my whys in life. That I'm not just doing this for me, but I'm doing this for my family. And I'm also doing this not just for my glory or what. I don't want any glory, but for the glory of my God. And I want people to be inspired by me. And they can see the glory of God coming from me. Diba? Ganun siya. So, I'm doing this to inspire more people that failing is not the end of the road, but it's just a preparation to an amazing future. So, cut the long story, I passed the boards, and yung mga bumabagsak is sa akin pumupunta, naging ng advice. Whenever they failed something, kumbaga, I can share to them what I've experienced. So that is one of the blessings that I had during those times, na nakakatulong ako sa ibang tao, even in the small things. So as I end, may I remind everyone that are listening today, na nagstay today, that do not let failure knock you down. Take every failure as an opportunity for your growth. Take it as a footstool towards your goal. Why? Because you have one life. And make sure you live it out with the grit to get up and fight. And you need to fight for your dreams. And you need to fight for your goals. You need to fight for your family. So that's it for our second episode. And I hope you guys enjoyed. May natutunan kayo, and kahit na ganito biglaan, is may natutunan kayo sa podcast na to. And then if you do, watch out for another podcast in Yes to Process with Zach Flores. And also, please guys, like our Facebook page, follow us on TikTok, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and yun lang naman. And let me end this by quoting this Bible verse in Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6. Sabi dito in NIV, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Once again, this is Yes to Process with Zach Flores. Thank you for listening, and may the Lord richly bless you. Ciao.